This sequel to the first Bill and Ted movie is very dark, very tonally different from the first one. I'm in Salad and I saw Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. It is directed by Pete Hewitt, written by Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This was requested by Patreon only. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. This one's a little bit more convoluted than the last one. The last one was a very bit more straightforward, but this one, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's, like I said, very dark. We're back in the future society again, where we have the Bill and Ted people are very revered, they're very loved, and we got this guy who's like, I hate this terrible, frivolous, wacky society. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna force myself into the time travel room. It seems like there's like this huge committee of time, a bunch of people like this like Star Trek kind of esque room shape. You know how the bridge is? It's kind of like that, but it's for people to deal with time travel. So we're dealing with that sort of room, and this guy barges in. He's like, I'm gonna force my robots to be traveling back in time, replace Bill and Ted by making evil Bill and Ted robots. By the way, I love the evil Bill and Ted robots. I'm like, oh no, I can't believe it. They're gonna be replaced. You know, when it comes to this trope, the being replaced by your enemy, by your evil twin kind of sort of dealio, this trope that happens, every time I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to feel what relationships are going to be damaged by this, and I'm already feeling the pain, because it always goes to that. Evil version of somebody always goes to the loved one and ruins the relationship, and so the good version of themselves goes to that person, and their loved one's like, I hate you, right? And that always makes me feel really sad. The evil version of themselves finds their normal version of themselves watching a particular Star Trek episode, and it shows the rock that he goes on. I believe it's from like season 2 of the original series, and they show this rock because they go to this rock in Bill and Ted, the exact same shot, the exact same area, the exact same like 50 miles outside of LA, where everyone films. Well, everyone did film. Now we got Atlanta and Vancouver are new filming spots. The evil versions drop them, and then they're dead, and then they're in the afterlife. And I found this detail to be really cool. When they're dead, they wear the monochrome version. Monochrome meaning gray, the grayscale monochrome, not color monochrome. But they're wearing all gray versions, and all their values are transferred into the grays, and so it looks pretty cool, and they wear that throughout the time in which they're dead. We got the Grim Reapers here. He's like, hey guys, I'm gonna take your bodies now. And Bill and Ted's like, what if we challenged you? And I love the matches between the Grim Reaper and Bill and Ted, because Bill and Ted choose modern games that the Grim Reaper wouldn't really have any reason to know how to play very well. So we got games like Twister, Battleship, that's what it is. If they chose a game like chess, they would have lost. But I love it. The Grim Reaper's like, that's 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, 5 out of 7. It's like, dude, you lost. And because of this, he's like, all right, I'm at your guys' command. I'm going to hang out with you guys for the rest of the movie. And that's what happens. They go to hell and experience their worst nightmares. And they're like, man, hell sucks. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. The entire point of hell is so it sucks. Like, you got to have some sort of morality tale to keep people in line. Come on, you can't just have people doing whatever they want. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna go to God now. And it's very bright. Obviously, hell is very red, very dark, but the interpretation of hell I found to be very different. It's got a lot of rooms with a lot of these metal doors. It's kind of looks steampunkish, and they go into it, and it's their worst nightmare. And it's like the worst thing ever that they can possibly imagine. But heaven, it's very clean, it's very spotless, and it seems like there's no sense of security theater in heaven. You could just walk up and then you just get handed a pamphlet. Welcome to heaven. God definitely chose you to be here, so we're not going to have any security measures whatsoever, even though there's a guy who looks clearly like the Grim Reaper here. And of course, Bill and Ted's like, hey, can you, like, help us? We're trying to stop our evil versions of ourselves from, like, killing us and killing everything that we love. Can you send us back? And God's like, yeah, sure. And then, you know, the Grim Reaper comes with them. And I'm like, wait, how did the Grim Reaper get sent from the in-between realm, which is essentially purgatory, and then hell, and then heaven, now into the earth realm? The Grim Reaper can just exist. Okay. That part confused me a little, but I didn't think too much about it. They had an evil Bill and Ted to stop a ruination of a battle of the bands that they're participating in. That's very key for the future of society. They get there in time and they shred it real nice. And they suck, right? But then, you know what they do? They do that same trick that they did in the last movie, where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna need something, but I know I'm gonna need it. So my future version of myself, or past version, whatever, went went back in time and made it so I already had this thing. So I got it. Woohoo! And they did that in order to learn how to be a really good guitar. Also, the guy who's trying to kill Bill and Ted, he was like, all these doofuses, man, all my minions, they suck. My 2 Bill and Ted robots, they couldn't handle the real Bill and Ted, so I have to go and fight them myself. And he goes from the future all the way to the past to fight Bill and Ted. And he's just kind of like an evil, menacing guy. And I'm like, man, I want this guy dead. Man, as soon as they turn into the rock star versions of themselves, you can see the Keanu Reeves. Like, you can see it in his arms, you can see it in his face. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is starting to look like Keanu Reeves. Because this is 91, right? This is way early in his career. He still looks babyface, but not as babyface as the last movie. I also like how they kept the princesses. Like the last movie, they were able to take princesses from the past and keep them. And now they have princesses who they had babies with. And the Rockstar versions have the babies on both of their backs, and it's pretty cute. I like the darker tone of this movie. I really like the Grim Reaper character. It humanizes a concept. Somebody who takes life from people. Humans needed a figure, an idea, to represent what it's like to lose your life, to go from the passage of the life to the darkness. And that's the Grim Reaper, reaping your life away. It's my life now. All that fun jazz. Personified, and he's enjoying life. He's like, oh my goodness, I'm a big fan. Woohoo! He's like fanboying it out. There's also a really funny joke. He's walking next to a smoker, just smoking inside of a grocery store. Man, I never lived those days. I wish I lived those days. I don't even care. I would rather be around cigarette smoke than vapes smell any day of the week. But he walks by the cigarette smoker. He's like, see you soon. And I'm like, haha, that guy's gonna die soon. That's really funny. And the Grim Reaper, this is just an adventure for him. He's just gonna keep on doing his job, and I enjoy it. Overall, it's a really fun, wacky adventure. Have you seen the Bill and Ted movies? Which one is your favorite? I enjoy both of them, but I think I enjoy this one the most. So I gotta give this one, it's a 7.5 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform you like, at $20 Dinos, patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 movie review per 1 month. If I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't seen it all, so that's why you gotta give them Patreon requested. And until next time, mint salad saw, I'll see you later, my sour croutons and bacon bits. Now I'm gonna hang out with the Grim Reaper because he sounds like a cool fella. Probably has a lot of experience, probably has a lot of things to talk about. He probably doesn't get to talk about with people because he's constantly taking the lives of those that he would talk to. Alright, goodbye.